Disney cruises look like the perfect family vacation. But there are costs, rules, and trade-offs most people only discover after they've already booked. In this video, you'll learn the things no one tells you, so you can decide if Disney is actually worth it for you. Step onto a Disney cruise and you will notice something that is hard to explain until you experience it for yourself. Even when the ship is packed, it rarely feels crowded or chaotic. That sense of calm is not just luck, it is the result of careful planning, invisible logistics, and an army of crew members working in sync behind the scenes. Every detail, from the way guests are welcomed in the atrium to how families move between activities, is shaped by decisions made long before anyone sets sail. Behind the scenes, Disney designers and engineers use advanced simulation tools like Mass Motion and AnyLogic to map how thousands of people will move through the ship at any given moment. These programs let them experiment with everything from the width of a corridor to the placement of a staircase, all before a single piece of steel is cut. On newer ships like the Disney Wish and Disney Treasure, these simulations have led to tweaks you would never notice unless you knew to look: wider atrium entries, dual staircases, and more open lounge spaces that quietly keep foot traffic flowing. This focus on design shows how thoughtful layout shapes the guest experience. But it is not just about the layout. The way Disney deploys its staff is deliberate. Crew members are positioned at key pinch points, outside kids' clubs, along buffet lines, near elevators, to answer questions, redirect lines, and keep things moving smoothly. Many of these roles are not about high-touch service. They are about making sure you never feel lost or stuck in a crowd. One crew member said their job was keeping the magic seamless, even when 4,000 people are trying to get to dinner at once. The visible presence of crew at the right places reduces friction throughout the ship. The result is a ship that feels remarkably relaxed, even at full capacity. It is this operational backbone, more than the characters or fireworks, that delivers the real Disney premium. The magic, it turns out, is engineered. The first surprise for many Disney cruisers comes when the bill starts adding up, long before you ever step on board. The base fare covers your stateroom, most meals, and entertainment, but that is only the beginning. Automatic gratuities are charged for every guest over age 3, currently $16 per adult per night and $8 per child for a typical 7-night cruise. For a family of 4, that is $560 just in tips, added to your account whether you notice or not. Then come the port taxes and fees, which can range from $100 to $250 per person, depending on your itinerary. These are required, but rarely highlighted in the headline price. Once you are on the ship, it is easy to get swept up in the extras. Specialty coffee runs $6 to $8 a cup, cocktails and wine can reach $15 or more each, and photo packages start around $250. If your kids want a makeover at the Beebadee Bobbadee Boutique, expect to pay $100 to $350 per child. Spa treatments, Wi-Fi, shore excursions, and shopping for souvenirs all come with their own price tags, often higher than you would expect from a family vacation. One family, let us call them Family B, shared a folio showing their 7-night cruise ballooned from a $5,000 base fare to over $12,000 after adding in moderate extras, including gratuities, drinks, photos, a couple of spa visits, Wi-Fi, and 2 shore excursions. That is 2.5 times the starting price. For most families, the real cost lands somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 times the fare you see online. It is not that Disney is hiding these charges, they are all disclosed if you dig, but the effect is the same. The magic comes with a price, and it is easy to underestimate just how quickly those little charges add up. Every Disney cruise comes with a dinner schedule handed to you at embarkation, a printed card or app notification that tells you exactly where and when you will eat each night. This is rotational dining, Disney's signature approach that swaps restaurant settings but keeps your serving team the same from start to finish. You will move between 3 themed dining rooms, maybe Animator's Palette one night and Arendelle the next, but your head server, main server, and assistant server always appear at your table, ready with your favorite drink or a heads up about your child's nut allergy. Behind the scenes, your preferences are tracked in a logbook, part digital and part paper, so your team can remember birthdays, dietary needs, and even how you like your steak cooked. A former server put it this way: We carry a laminated sheet with each family's details to every restaurant, so nothing gets missed. The upside is a level of personal service that feels almost telepathic. The trade-off is you are locked into either an early or late seating, and last-minute changes are tough. There is less room for spontaneous dinners or swapping venues on a whim. The system delivers consistency and a sense of routine, but flexibility takes a back seat. If you like knowing exactly what to expect and want staff who remember your quirks, rotational dining is a standout. If you crave freedom to eat wherever, whenever, you may feel boxed in. Choosing your cabin on a Disney cruise is more than just picking a spot to sleep. It shapes your whole experience. Most family staterooms have the split bathroom design, one room with the shower and sink, another with the toilet, and a second sink. This setup lets one person get ready while someone else uses the other bathroom, which can mean the difference between a smooth morning and a line forming before breakfast. It's a small touch that families with young kids or teens often say is a lifesaver, even if it does make the living area a bit tighter. Location matters more than you might expect. Lower decks can pick up a low engine hum, especially at night, while upper decks near the pool may get more foot traffic and late-night noise. Midship cabins, especially on decks 9 through 12, tend to be the quietest and feel the least motion at sea. If you are debating between an inside room and a veranda, the main trade-off is light and privacy. Inside cabins are pitch black for naps but can feel closed in, while verandas offer a private escape but come with a higher price tag. Family A put it this way: the split bathroom and quiet midship location made it feel like our own little retreat, even when the hallways were buzzing. For families with kids eyeing the clubs, being close to the right deck can make drop-offs and pickups a breeze. Handing your child over to Disney's kids clubs feels a lot less nerve-wracking once you see the security in action. Every child gets an RFID wristband at check-in. Think of it as a digital ID that tracks exactly who's coming and going. When it's time to pick up, staff scan both your wristband and your child's, and the system won't release anyone unless there's a match. Staff keep a close eye on the doors, and the club's 1:10 adult-to-child ratio means there's always someone watching. For many parents, this is where the real value of a Disney cruise kicks in. The clubs run from morning through late afternoon, and a recent survey found families averaged 5 to 6 hours a day of true adult downtime while their kids dove into themed activities. One parent summed it up: "I read a whole book by the pool, got a massage, and didn't get a single 'I'm bored' text." For parents craving a real break, the kids' clubs aren't just a perk. They are the secret ingredient that makes the premium price feel worth it. A day on Disney's private island, whether it is Castaway Cay or Lighthouse Point, feels like the ultimate perk. White sand, turquoise water, and a barbecue lunch that is actually included. But the magic comes with its own set of limits. The adults-only beaches offer a rare moment of quiet, while the family zones fill up fast. Cabanas, those shaded hideaways that promise a VIP experience, are in such high demand they can sell out within minutes of release, especially for first-time cruisers who do not have loyalty status. If you are lucky enough to snag one, you will pay anywhere from $400 to $800, but weather can still upend your plans. When strong winds or storms force a last-minute island cancellation, Disney typically issues a full refund for pre-booked extras like cabanas and credits your onboard account within a day. One guest summed it up after a weather diversion: they were disappointed, but at least they did not lose their money. The catch is that most island add-ons are limited, and no amount of planning can control the weather. That is why it pays to know exactly when and how to book these experiences. Booking a Disney cruise is not just about picking dates. It is about timing your move for real savings. Prices are lowest when new itineraries first open, usually 12 to 18 months out. The longer you wait, the higher the fare climbs, especially in peak seasons. There is a little-known trick: you can place a placeholder deposit while on board a current cruise. locking in a future trip with a reduced deposit and onboard credit. Travel agents often add their own credits, which can mean $100 or more to spend on extras. Off-season sailings, like September or early December, typically offer the best value, with fares dropping 10 to 15%. A travel advisor puts it this way: the early bird really does get the deal on Disney. Comparing per night costs, shorter itineraries often deliver the same magic for less. If you want the most for your money, plan ahead, use a placeholder, and always check for agency perks before you book. Disney cruises deliver their value when you match what they offer to what you actually want from a vacation. If you are traveling with kids between 2 and 12 years old, love the idea of structured days and want every detail handled, down to your child's food allergy or birthday. This is your sweet spot. Disney loyalists and families who crave that signature service, with staff remembering your name and your favorite dessert, find the premium worth it. But if you are hoping for wild nightlife, all-inclusive drinks, or the freedom to eat wherever and whenever you want, you may feel boxed in. Budget-focused travelers or groups needing more than 2 cabins often find the extra costs and rigid rules frustrating. The magic is real, but it is tailored for families and Disney fans who value routine, security, and a bit of curated wonder over total freedom or bargain hunting. Right now, Disney ships are selling out faster than ever, even as costs quietly climb. For families, every hidden fee and clever design choice shapes whether magic or frustration wins out. The real secret: what feels priceless is always paid for, one way or another. Like, subscribe, and comment with your biggest question or worry.